If you want to become unrecognizable and completely shift your identity before the end of the year, I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it, both inexpensively and very, very quickly. Are you ready? Let's dive in. So, the first thing you need to know about changing your identity and becoming unrecognizable is that your self concept, your self image, is the number one psychological factor of your mind. What the heck does that mean? It means that everything your unconscious mind is going to try to do is to get you to remain consistent to your old self. The problem is, you don't want to be your old self anymore. You want to transform into your new self, into the woman you desire to be, into the woman I believe you're created to be. Now, let's take a 1 minute detour into understanding how you came to be the way you are. Way back into childhood, up into the age of 7, you were a sponge. And what you saw around you, both modeled in your parents and in your family systems and in the culture you grew up in your society, that became a model for who you needed to be in order to be accepted, in order to belong, in order to be safe. Now, that works well and good if the people around you modeled healthy versions of integration and self expression and tolerance and encouragement. But if you didn't grow up in that environment, then you may feel pressure to be someone you're not. You may feel pressure to not be as big and bright and shiny and beautiful and smart and innovative and creative as you really are. So, part of this desire to change, to shift your identity, to become unrecognizable, I believe is a spiritual journey. And you're called to do it. Your soul is asking you, begging you to say yes to it because it's time for you to step into a much more real and vibrant and interesting version of yourself. Plus, that version of yourself that is way more attractive and fun to be around. So, if the person you are being right now is totally boring, totally not your most beautiful self, like kind of ugly and lazy and just not very inspiring or motivating, the good news is you absolutely can change. But the bad news is you're going to have to really, really want it. And you're going to have to learn some tools to equip you to overcome the obstacles, the resistance, because of course they're there. If it was easy to just transform into whoever you wanted to be, there wouldn't be a bajillion YouTube videos out there telling you how to do it. It's actually quite challenging, but it's possible. So, first things first, tap into yourself. Do you really want it? The answer is yes. Keep watching. What I want to do for the rest of this video is to break it down in a really simple way how to experience a change in your identity, like a real shift in your consciousness around your self-image, around your self-concept. And this is going to come in layers. First, there are the quick wins, which we're going to talk about first because everyone loves a quick win. And then for those who are really committed, who stick to the end of this video, we're going to talk about the long-term changes, what you can do for your mindset and your spirituality and your embodiment to really make these changes stick. So it's not just like you become this new person for one night out, one glorious party, and then you're back to the same old, same old. No, you're actually manifesting the woman you desire to be by becoming her, by embodying her. And that's an inside out game. The quick wins, which we're going to talk about next, is an outside in game. And it's all about the physical appearance parts and the things you can do with your hair, your clothes, your style that can give you that quick win. So you look unrecognizable to the outside world and also to yourself. And then the mindset and the spirituality that's really going to make that stick. So you believe it too. First, the quick wins. I wrote some of this down. In my opinion, the quickest way to change your identity is your hair. I am not a hairstylist. I'm not going to go deep into hair theory. My hair is in need of hair therapy, by the way. But hair makes such a huge difference on your appearance and how people perceive you and how you perceive yourself. If you want to change your identity, if you really want to become unrecognizable, you're going to need to change up your hair. Yes, even if you love it. If you have long hair, I want you to cut it short. If you have blonde hair, you can dye it brown, dye it black, dye it red. If you have dark hair, play with highlights or dyeing it a different color. Yes, hair makes a huge transition, huge, huge difference in how you perceive yourself. And the thing is, you're going to have to you're going to have to put a lot of effort into this. And this is cool because once you get out of this ozone layer, this atmosphere of your current self identity, you're going to feel so much more free. And you're going to have so much more agency to start making other changes in your life. But you have to understand that that self concept, that current self identity, that current self image is very, very sticky, strong psychological force. And like I said earlier, everything in you is going to want you to remain consistent to that old self. So you need to do something to really change it up. Now, this video may only be for the risky, the risk takers, and the courageous, or the people that are just completely fed up. Because some of you might be like, nope, that's not for me. I'm turning the video off right now. If that's how you're feeling, I encourage you to stay to the end because there may be something for you that helps you just lean in and create more possibility for yourself. And you obviously don't have to use all these tips. You are the boss of you. You are the queen of your own life. Like any other YouTube video, take what works for you and throw away the rest. I'm just telling you what works for me. I am someone who has changed her identity several times, from single mom to a woman who has been happily, deeply committed in marriage for over 15 years to hobby business owner to making over 80K a month in my business to having an eating disorder, having an overeating disorder, to maintaining a healthy weight for the past more than 18 years. So I get it. I know how deep that desire is to change, whether it's your health or your relationship status or your money, your abundance, your career. I have been there and I've created changes in each one of those areas. And I'm telling you what has worked for me and as a coach, what has also worked for my clients. So we're starting with the quick wins, the more superficial things, but stick to the end because there is some deeper stuff that I want to get to too. But everyone loves the quick wins, so we're going to start with those. I'm telling you, if you have the courage to change up your hairstyle, you will transform in a day. Changing up your hairstyle in a radical way, whether it's cutting it or getting extensions or dyeing it a completely different color, gives you the ability to become unrecognizable to yourself in a matter of hours. Literally, you go into the salon and you come out a new person. Most other change work you're going to do is going to take some time, whether it's hitting the gym and getting fit or working on that mindset. It's going to take some time. So if you want that immediate win, I'm telling you, you can't do any better than changing up your hair. Of course, it's a risk, right? And here's what I always tell myself when I'm in the process of transformation, of changing up my identity, is it's not necessarily about looking better. It's about looking different. And here's what I mean, because of course we all want to look better and we always want to be improving our appearance. And there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is we get super attached and we're afraid to change things up. But what we don't know is like, wow, maybe if we had the courage to make a big change in our hair, we might see that there's a whole nother world available to us. And if this feels like just way too risky right now, then buy yourself a few wigs. Have some fun in the privacy of your own home. I encouraged one of my longtime friends to do this, and she's like, oh, holy cow, she got a wig. And she went out with her boyfriend, and it was like she got to be a whole different woman. And it was super, super fun for her. And she realized, wow, I was holding myself back in these ways. And just changing up my hairstyle, literally putting on a wig, allowed me to open up a whole new possibility for myself and how I can act and how I can behave and how I can think and how I can flirt. So hair, that's my first tip for a quick win. Bottom line, change it up. Second quick win is your style. Change it up. I want you cleaning out your closet and packing up anything that has an emotional charge with the woman you currently are. Now, this means packing up maybe some of your favorite items, some of your most cozy and comfortable items. And the reason is this: a part of transformation and changing your identity is allowing yourself to grow beyond the current version of yourself. And the thing that keeps us so stuck and tied, I mean, there's a huge unconscious psychological force at play to keep you tied to your old self, especially these items of clothing that have that emotional charge to them. Maybe it's your favorite old t-shirt or your favorite comfy pajamas that you just love to put on when you're feeling like shit and you just want to be in bed all day. I encourage you to pack these things up, anything that has a strong emotional charge with the woman you no longer want to be. Now, you don't have to give them away. You don't have to throw them away. Just out of sight, out of mind. And in months to come, if you want to pull them back out and you feel secure in your new identity and you're just like, you know what? Every version of myself loves this pair of pajamas, then go ahead and bring it out. But trust me on this, like, get rid of the emotional charges. Maybe it's the dresses that you wore on a certain date, or your old wedding dress, or different items of clothing that represent older versions of you, what you used to wear to that old job, or you know what I mean. You get what I'm coming from. And you may find you don't have a lot of options, and that's okay. For your style in this intermediate period, when you're not quite sure what you want, or maybe you're really clear on what you want, but you don't have the funds to buy yourself a whole new wardrobe, it's okay to stay in a really neutral, just good pair of jeans, white or black t-shirt, nice gold necklace, like some boots. Like, you can get by on the basics for a long time. Just keep it classy, keep it simple, wear those natural fibers. You're going to look like a high value woman, and that's always a plus. So as you're figuring out your new style for this woman you want to be, or as you're building the funds to buy yourself a whole new wardrobe, don't be afraid to just stick with the basics. Stick with the classics. Can't go wrong. And bottom line is, change up your closet. Get the stuff out of your visual field that you have an emotional attachment to. That old version of you has the emotional attachment to. Pack it up, get it away, clean out your closet, let it be just a capsule wardrobe for a while, and see how you feel. It's good to give yourself a uniform. Yeah, I have so many stories of this. Just friends that I know that gave themselves just one or two go-to looks. They didn't have to think about it. They were going to focus their life on somewhere else, whether it was their health or their money mindset, their career or their relationship. And they just did not want to think about what they were wearing in the morning. So they had one, two, three, maybe go-to styles, and that's what they wore for the period of time. And it was things that were elevated, things that were made with good fabrics, and was like the neutral playing field for them to step into this new version of themselves. All right, that's quick win number 2. Quick win number 3. This is time. How you spend the first and last hour of your day can dramatically change your life. Literally, you can become unrecognizable to yourself just by focusing what you're doing the first and last hour of your day, changing that up. For most of us, that's probably going to mean not getting on your phone. Right now, you may be starting your day with your phone by your side, or ending your day with your phone by your bedside, scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. And just by changing up how you spend that first and last hour, that's going to deeply support this new version of yourself. Some things you can do instead: journal, always a great idea when you're becoming a new version of yourself, because there's a ton of things to process. And if you want some help, some guidance, and tips on how to do this in 90 days, some journaling tips that I find really, really helpful, then you can download my free guide, How to Change Your Life in 90 Days. It's an instant download. Just put in an email address and it's yours. It'll take you through a 5-step, really simple playbook, including some of the go-to journaling questions I think that are just super important, like foundational, if you're serious about changing up yourself, changing up your identity, changing up your look, changing up your life in any period of time. So switching up your evening and morning routine to include journaling instead of scrolling, or including memorizing scripture, memorizing poems, reading things that inspire you and taking them to memory. Why? Because you want to slowly reprogram your mind. That's kind of what we're doing on the back end of all this stuff. We are reprogramming our mind. And right now, I bet you have some go-to phrases that aren't helpful. They're just downright cruel to the woman that you are. So by consciously memorizing, taking to memory quotes, scripture, lines of songs that you find beautiful, inspiring, that can be part of the code for the woman that you're becoming. It can be part of her subconscious mind, kind of like the song that's playing in the background all the time. Exercise and movement. This is a quick win. If you want to become unrecognizable and completely change your identity in 3 weeks, 9 weeks, 90 days, whatever it is, change up how you're moving your body. Change up how you are sitting, your posture, how you walk into a room. Just become more conscious of it. And I also mean your physical workouts. If you have been a runner, then maybe try Pilates. If you have been someone that just loves to go to the gym and lift weights, maybe try yoga and walks outside. Change it up, because these cues that you're giving your body, our body patterns so much of our behaviors. The movements we do every single day or every single week can carry so much of our identity. We can be so attached to moving our bodies in certain ways. And just by changing up the muscles that we're using, how we're using our body can open up whole new versions of ourselves. versions of ourselves that we never knew we had access to until we gave ourselves permission to start moving in a new way. Something really simple you can do is around your posture, just becoming really attentive to your posture. Right now I'm slouching because I'm trying to like remain in frame and it's also really comfortable to lean back on these pillows. But in general, I have pretty dang good posture and it's something I am conscious about. And when I notice I'm feeling down, when I notice I'm in a low vibe state, I'm just kind of starting to spiral into negative thoughts, we've all been there. I just think about a crown of light. It's one of the cues I give all my clients, and one of the major cues I give in my meditations too is imagining putting on a crown of light. Just imagine it right now. Put on your crown of light. I like to imagine someone I really love or admire bestowing on me that crown of light. And then I just notice how it shifts my posture, my energy, how much more spaciousness I feel in my chest and my whole torso. I definitely stand up straighter. It's like activates a nobility and a dignity in me. So try that. Focus on your posture. Really become conscious of putting on that crown of light when you walk into new spaces. And one really fun game you can play with yourself during this time. That sounds funny. Yes, please play with yourself during this time. But one game you can consciously choose to play during this time is imagining doors as thresholds. And I can't remember where I heard this for the first time, but I just love this idea because it activates the imagination. And anytime we're activating the imagination towards something fun, whimsical, playful, positive, good, beautiful, true, that is going to support the woman we want to become. So activate your imagination and imagine that every single doorway you cross, it is a threshold. And when you cross that threshold, when you go through that door, you are stepping into this new version of yourself. It's a portal. Doorways, thresholds, they can all become portals. Why? Because you say so, and that is how powerful your mind is. So, doorways are now your threshold moments, and they're your threshold moments to remember putting on that crown of light. Quick wins. Quick wins. We're talking hair, style, body, how you move, and how you spend your time. Now, let me spend the last few minutes on mindset and spirituality because this is what's going to make it stick, and I want it to stick for you. Number one, give yourself permission. It's so important. So often, women don't realize how they're waiting for permission, waiting to be chosen, waiting to be seen, waiting to be told it's okay to want what they want, to go for what they want, to be who they are. You got to give yourself permission. So, the mindset of, I write my own permission slips. I give myself permission. And number two around mindset is self perception. Perception is so, so powerful, none more so than your own. How you see yourself, you hold the keys. How you see yourself holds the keys to all your limiting beliefs and all your beliefs of possibility. How you see yourself is either a heaven or a hell. It creates the state of consciousness that you live in and day out. Anais Nin was right, and she said, we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. So your self-perception, really working on that is so important, so huge. And I highly recommend mirror work to help to begin to heal self-perception because most women have a distorted self-perception, especially around how they look, their beauty, their worth, their appearance, their attractiveness, their magnetism, their feminine energy. And the best way to begin to heal that is through mirror work, specifically with the soft eyes practice. So on this channel, I have many meditations that help you connect to your soft feminine energy. My favorite by far is my soft eyes meditation. And this is an open eye meditation that you do in front of the mirror. And I just want you to do it. I'm going to say no more. I'm just going to link it here. Here's the updated version. And just begin practicing it today. It is key to your journey of becoming unrecognizable. Because what you really need to do is heal the way you see yourself. And once you heal the way you see yourself, a whole new world will open up. Can't even speak. It's so exciting. A whole new world will open up for you. And this flows into spirituality, training your imagination, whether it be through prayer or through meditation or through visualization or for being creative and making vision boards. It's really important to train your imagination towards the woman you're becoming, to serve the woman you desire to be. We all know what our imagination will do. It'll run away with us if we're in a negative state, if we're down, if we're feeling bad about ourselves. We're really good at imagining the worst. But we need to start imagining the best case scenarios, and we can train our imagination. Again, I have a meditation geared towards just that, just training your creativity and your imagination, because once you start building that muscle, it gets so fun. Every single day is a whole new day where you get to imagine new possibilities for yourself, things going really well for you, things going better than expected, miracles happening. Miracle, I love this definition by Marianne Williams, is a shift in perception. She got it. She understood. Perception is the most powerful thing. And this is why the soft eyes practice is so powerful, because with this guided practice, I help you tap in to the way that the divine would see you. God's eyes, soft eyes, eyes of love, eyes of compassion. And when you can see yourself from those eyes, the whole world begins to shift. The whole world becomes a safe place for you to step into your truest, most authentic, most brilliant, and attractive and exciting version of yourself. So do that practice. Practice training your imagination through all the ways. And spirituality, know this, that your desire to change your identity, your desire to become unrecognizable to yourself is actually a spiritual impulse. We get so attached to these identities that are pretty much illusions. We made them up somewhere along the way and we got attached to them. We started identifying with them, thinking, this is who I am. The problem is, at a certain point, it does more harm than good, and it starts limiting us instead of liberating us. So, wanting to change your identity is actually a really exciting cue that your soul is waking up. Your soul is ready to show up in the world. You're ready to start embodying her in bigger and bolder ways. And this is how you do it. So, we got the quick wins and we got some deeper mindset stuff. And also, ultimately, just knowing that this is a spiritual journey and it's a really beautiful journey. I mean, look into any religion, any spiritual tradition, and you will see the importance of letting go of identity, letting go of these old identities so you can step into the new creation that you are. Any given moment, you have this opportunity to step into and say yes to the new creation that you are, the woman you desire to be. And part of that is just letting go, knowing that it's okay. That old version of you is the old version of you. Many religions and spiritualities talk about dying before we die. And it's connected to this. It's connected to allowing ourselves to grow beyond these old versions of ourselves. And sometimes there's grief involved, and that's okay. It's part of the process. You know, sometimes growing into this new version of ourselves means letting go of relationships, letting go of things that used to comfort us. And there's sadness. We're saying goodbye. But with that sadness is the opportunity to meet this new version of ourselves and the life that our soul really knows is possible. I love that phrase, the more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. A part of getting to experiencing that, really embodying that, is having the courage to let go. Letting go of the old version of yourself, the woman you used to be, and saying yes to this mysterious, beautiful journey of becoming the woman you desire to be. I hope that was helpful for you. I hope that inspired you to take some quick wins. I'll leave it here for today. There can definitely be a part 2 and part 3 to this, so let me know in the comments below if you want to hear more. But remember, you can trust what lights you up. What lights you up leads you home. And I'm so glad you're here. I'm Morgan Day Cecil, your feminine embodiment coach and a new kind of manifestation guide. Download that free blueprint if you're really interested in changing your life in 90 days. It's a little downloadable PDF playbook that will help guide you through this process, and it's available for free right there in the description box below.